Welcome back to the channel. It's been an exciting couple days for so many reasons. Just the macro markets, crypto in general, the FTX stuff, HSI's coming, yield or in process, and yield to the pools for us that are staked in Hedron and Icosa. Let's talk about this. So here is my app.icosa.pro account. I created this on the very first day of the Icosa project. I gave 300,000 hex staked for 5555 to the contract. In return, I got 12,164 Icosa back. So far, in a little over 90 days, I've received 9,072 Icosa as yield. I've also received 646 million Hedron, and totally happy with that. The majority of this number came about in the last couple days, and that's just great. Let's talk about the Hedron staking pool. So if you guys have been watching me, I had about 9 billion Hedron staked in here. I ended up adding a little bit to this, and this yield right here of 3,250 Icosa is actually just from the last couple days, as I pulled out the yield that was there and staked it in another Icosa staking pool, as I saw the yield was coming, was going to be good, and I thought it was going to be to my advantage to do that. And I do not currently regret that decision. But here is my account for you guys. I do want to show you the Watsa pool. I created this Watsa right here. It cost me $1,000, and I created this on the very first day. It's given me 790 Icosa back, and so it's getting close to profitable. The Icosa price, like many things, is somewhat volatile. It's worth, each Icosa is worth a little bit less than $1, but yeah, I've gotten 790 Icosa from that stake on the very first day. And of course, we are watching the pool size slowly go down, the total supply of Watsa NFTs slowly go down. There's less competition in this pool, and that is good. So just holding indefinitely in this pool. So that's a little update for you guys on this account. I do want to talk about the HSI auctions and my thoughts on the project so far, mainly because I've been telling you guys I've been looking to this time ever since the very beginning of Icosa to help me decide how confident I should be in the Hedron and Icosa protocols. I saw Icosa as an answer, potential good answer to the Hedron inflation. Hex stakes, any hex stake has the ability for someone to mint Hedron from that hex stake every single day, and basically Hedron is inflating. And in my opinion, we needed a way to address this inflation. And the Icosa protocol, mainly through these auctions, is a potentially good way to address this inflation and burn Hedron. And I was very happy when within the first 24 hours of the first HSI auctions ending, we burned over 1.6 trillion Hedron, and that was great. I was not expecting that much Hedron to be burned, and so this is good. I, like I said, see the Icosa project as a way to address Hedron inflation, and so in order to get more confidence in the projects, I want to see the Icosa project actually resulting in Hedron inflation being addressed, and that so far has been happening. I want to show you guys also along the same topic this tweet from Dev Huey. So this shows some things that I consider pretty valuable. So right over here, there's roughly 7,000 T-shares in the very first day, and as I said, these HSIs worth roughly 7,000 T-shares going through the auction process burned 1.6 trillion Hedron. And as you can see, the number of T shares available to be auctioned off kind of is basically trending down. That's fine. But all of this, of course, will very likely result in more hedron being burned. Another very good thing for me was, one of the questions, I guess, was how many HSIs are we going to see continually going through the HSI buyback? I want to see that happen because I want to see hedron burned. And the winning bid on these HSI auctions, the hedron for that winning bid gets burned. And this big spike right here, worth roughly 6,500 T shares, is basically, for a lot of it is from the HSIs that people got that they won at the from the first day of the auctions. A lot of them ended up coming back through the HSI buyback, and in roughly 90 days, we're going to have another very big auction day, and hopefully another big burn, especially big burn of hedron. As I said, we're going to be burning hedron very likely the whole time up till then, but this is going to be hopefully result in a bunch more just in that one day, and it's hopefully going to result in a bunch of yield in the Icosa staking pools. I think the yield is important because the yield is a reason, for example, to stake Icosa. And I want to see, it's a reason to stake Icosa. It's a reason to buy Icosa because you're going to get more Icosa from it. As you guys saw my account, the returns have been good. It's been a good reason to hold Icosa and not sell it. And if we're looking forward to a day like this, I think that's going to be an incentive for people to keep buying Icosa. And I want to see the Icosa price reach and be close to its parity through all of this process, because I want to keep seeing HSIs go through the buyback. And the main reason that you would put your HSI, one of the main reasons you'd put your HSI through the buyback is to be able to get the Icosa. And if the Icosa value is low, there's theoretically less incentive to use that process. If we don't have HSIs going through the HSI buyback, we don't have auctions in our future. And at the time, there apparently was enough incentive to use the HSI buyback and add another big hedron burning day, very likely. And so these are just good signs, in my opinion, for the project so far. I will show you guys the Icosa parity, if I can find it. And basically, if you look at this graph, we're roughly supposed to be here a little bit over 34 hex per Icosa. I was predicting there was a good chance that the Icosa parity was going to break to the downside when the auction started, because, like I said, it was likely that some of the HSIs were going to go through the HSI buyback. They were going to get Icosa, and some of those people were going to dump it on the market. And as you can see, yes, Icosa did dump a little bit, and it has been below its parity. We're this much below our parity, roughly 17%. But really, to me, this is not bad. I think, roughly speaking, 17% below parity is not a problem. I think that's still an incentive for a lot of people to continue to use the HSI buyback. I think if we were like 50% below parity or something, then I would be a little bit more concerned. But I would also, knowing now that we are having a bunch more HSIs come back, like specifically in 90 days, and we will probably have a good yield then, I am now incentivized, and I think a lot of other people are as well, to buy the Icosa at a discount. If that happens, if it drops massively, if one person mints a bunch of Icosa and just dumps it on the market and the price tanks, there's a reason to buy that up. And so this is good. So far, things are going well. It's not been very long that we've been in this HSI auction process, but so far things are looking good to me. And I do just want to be careful getting too tied up in the short term of these projects, thinking about right now there's HSIs to buy. What's the deal? Oh, there's yield in the pools. How can I get that yield? I don't want to get too distracted by potentially good games like that to play and forget to watch the whole project itself and question how healthy is the system. Is it going to sustain itself long term? Because if, for example, we can get the hedron under control, it has a lot of potential price appreciation to meet the hedron to hex to T-share rate parity. And that's going to be a lot of return on investment alone, regardless of the yield I get in the meantime. And that's really what I want. And I want to be in projects that are going to last, sustain themselves. And so I'm trying to figure out, is this project itself healthy? Will it be around years from now? And so far, like I said, it's only been a couple days since the HSI auctions started. And I think that seeing how these play out is worth watching to decide how confident or not I will be in the system. But so far, things look good. And these are some things I'm thinking about. These are some things I'm watching. Here's my account and where it's at right now. And anyway, guys, let me know if you have questions. Thank you for watching. This has been a fun experience, and I'm glad to be able to share this with you all. Thank you for watching. Talk to you in the next one.